Going into Dark World, where you might just get sniped by an enemy. Oh, I'm hearing stuff again.
Okay, OBS lost connection. Back in a second. Let me see if I can call their streams up on.
Yeah, I may as well do. Click over. Twitch.
Bright-eyed. Where is...
I'm bringing up MDS.
I have bright-eyed, and they're most of the way through Aga. Oh, except they're going to die.
Ooh.
I've
got oh, that is unfortunate. I've got AryaStark up. Looks like in the meantime they immediately rushed over and grabbed Hammer, and are now doing Eastern.
Yeah, it's about as good a time as any to do that. Trying to find the MDS. Let me see.
Yeah, AryaStark2942 on Twitch.
Oh, okay, that's what it is.
Yeah, uses the MDS name in Discord. AryaStark on Twitch.
See, on their tracker, no, they don't have any other toys.
No, I think that they just grabbed the Pyramid Ledge item or scouted it and immediately went for Hammer.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
Yeah, Hammer unlocks a lot. Just go grab it.
Yeah, especially because I don't have any gloves, so the hammer is the way to do literally anything. At that point.
So let's see. Okay, there was the flute. It was literally the first check of Eastern that I think during the item explosion bonanza of Moldorm when MDS was there. Didn't quite notice it. There we go.
Oh, we're alive?
Yep, we're back. We are indeed back.
Okay, so to catch you up in the last few minutes, unfortunately, Bright-eyed took a death in one of the previous rooms they were just in. So this is their second attempt, and MDS scouted the item or got the item which didn't really have anything for them, and they collected the hammer, and now they're in Eastern. So that's where we're at. Welcome back, everyone. I want to say the death that happened to Bright-eyed, they got 1.0'd where they got poked off the ledge and they were at 1 heart when they got poked, so... the tragedy.
The second time's the charm here. Going in an Aga fight with a healthy amount of health and blue mail, so...
Yeah. And it's important for their mentor, Aaron, MrAaronSnerd, to keep them calm. It can be quite tilting to take an unexpected death like that. You know, usually you think you're above this sort of thing, and then you take a death, and that can really knock you off your game if you're not able to keep calm.
Yeah, I know that feeling. You mess up something that in your mind is just super trivial. It's extremely tilting.
That was me yesterday on the casual boots ladder yesterday, where I definitely have pod maze down cold, but for whatever reason, maybe I got bumped or something, but I got lost and had the S and Q out, which that was upsetting.
Yeah, I can easily imagine. See, so AryaStark2942. Yeah, the visuals are frozen. The MDS here is.
Yeah, they just got their crystal. Okay.
See, on MDS's side, yeah, they just picked up the crystal. They same with the Lynx house. This looks like a hype cave start, perhaps, or no. Again, no, they're gonna take the Dark World portal straight into pod. From Aga.
Yeah, that makes sense. At this point, when you take a death like that and you immediately lose 4 minutes, you got to start thinking, how can I cut corners? I'm immediately going to be going, ABCD
Yeah.
to able to like claw back some time and just hopefully that we're in a jet seed situation where as we're seeing, you want to be able to get through. Although I've had the wrong feed up. It was actually I'm seeing Arya going into pod, which is correct, and they're gonna be trying to press their advantage rather.
Okay, getting the streams reset up on our end to be able to see here in a moment.
Got both monitors up now, so I can actually pay better attention. I was hoping that we would get our visuals back, but for now we will
just run this in a slightly jankier setup, but we can still watch the whole thing and commentate on it.
I don't know if anyone can hear us. Hello world. We're down or not? Okay, Lucy in our tracker says hello in chat. And yeah, John Snoo saying, "Uh-oh." Yeah, there's our
Okay.
Dark World. Red Pendant, Thieves, and Swamp. And of course, because we got the Ice Rod immediately, that means it was a pendant. Classic.
Is your green pendant. Just to tempt you slightly that TR might be the play.
Yeah. That happened. The same seed last night. That was the problem. Was you had to go to Laser Bridge to get a flute and a mirror and flippers. So you may be forced to do it, and it feels bad, especially when you get early access to TR, and then you don't do it.
Alright, so now we've got brighteyed clearing out pod. Pretty much following the footsteps of Arya.
Full Tracker got the other 2 bad pendants, so you have Hera and Ice Palace as your other pendants.
Mm-hmm.
So with both runners kind of in the same situation, although, yeah, because I'm trying to think. No, Arya has not. No, they have done Eastern Palace, so they're both even on crystal counts.
Yep. They both done.
Okay.
They both done Eastern. Arya's got a little bit more time here, just from, just getting over into pod quicker after the death that Bright-eyed took.
But based on the way Bright-eyed has been routed, their routing decisions with Aaron, at least they're back in the conversation and not like a consistent 5 minutes behind. But that means they've probably done quite a few checks. A lot fewer checks. But when you're behind, that's the kind of choices you have to make and live with them.
Yeah, checks-wise, I think the main thing that is they Bright-eyed has a Gina check, which was the male. MDS doesn't. MDS did the fake the water walking checks.
Yeah.
And so got the waterfall cave and hobo. In which, with that downtime, Bright-eyed definitely has hammer. It would honestly be a little silly to come in here without hammer, knowing exactly where it is and the ability to grab it.
Oh yeah. I thought I saw them go get it on their own personal stream when we were chatting while we were a bit down. That's a fun strat. You yeet yourself off as you throw the bomb.
Hey, if it works, it works, right?
No, that's a fun one. It keeps you from getting bullied by all of the stuff. And we see MDS setting up. They did their death warp after getting to the big key. It's now boss time.
So far, item-wise, pod is not hasn't really paid out at all. I mean, you have to do it.
Yeah. And with no mirror, it's not like you could have done like a combo play with Eastern earlier. And eventually, it's gonna.
You got lamp and silvers is basically as fast as you can possibly make this dungeon anyway.
And execution is thing to keep in mind. This is a learning tournament. A lot of our runners are green, and this is their first real exposure to playing the game at on a consistent level versus just playing the vanilla game once or twice casually. So it comes down to comfort and either if you take some unnecessary damage, you don't have an optimal room clear. You can definitely gain and lose time here and there, so just because they're half a pod apart doesn't really mean a whole lot.
Yeah, no, it's in these kind of circumstances, matches I think are a little bit more likely to swing.
But for now, you can see MDS in the turtle room, doing battle with the annoying turtles, and they're getting through now.
Yeah, this is one of those rooms where learning the NMG strat for it has helped considerably doing that room.
Oh, you know what's interesting? I wonder, I didn't catch this. Chat's asking if they did bonk rocks after getting the boots and saving and quitting out of checking the
So this is while we were down. Bright-eye's tracker marks that they did it.
Okay.
I'm assuming it was nothing because I don't see any new items on their tracker. Yeah, looking at their personal tracker, there's nothing new. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just trying to think about what, as they get another 3 hundo off the boss. Crystal 2. Really
Taking
isn't.
that money back from Kiki, and you leave.
Yup.
Now what? Let's see. You can go
I
straight to fees
mean,
or walking out. So
I think what they want to do is go to hype, and they'll use the hammer. Although
at that point, I consider save quitting and just
yeah, I was about to say in terms of the calculus of the time it takes to walk through this exterior maze versus S and Q. I have to wonder, especially when there's so many dangerous enemies. And keep in mind, they're on green mail. That
just like that.
Murdactyl is ruining their day.
So yeah,
Although I,
exactly the point you were trying to describe right there.
although they could have saved the potion there, because the next screen had a fairy heal room. But I suppose they wanted to save a few seconds and just burn the red potion there.
Yeah, I mean it's not like they're hurting on money. So if they have flute, so if they really want
Yeah,
to, they can
very
just
true.
buy some. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, actually, now that I think of it, I would rather have a blue goo in there, some Mountain Dew voltage versus
Oh,
Code
hey, look,
Red.
there you go. You get it back.
Hey, there's some Code Red right there.
A mushroom,
Suspicious,
fun.
suspicious mushroom and another bottle. I always call them suspicious mushrooms because I had 2 seeds in a row in my recent past where they both had like a hammer or a cane on there. So it's like, okay.
Let's see. So Kenya, I guess I mean right now going to mountain would literally just get you old man and the spec rock, which it's only 2 checks. There's a lot more you can do. I mean, honestly, grabbing old man I don't think is a bad idea because you're gonna have to do it anyway. It
Yeah,
doesn't
I
exactly hurt
mean,
you. If you're gonna save quit, you're probably using it for fluting purposes. Oh, and the
right.
glove. We're gonna get a glove here on Arya MDS.
All right. Then that means Bright Eyed will be right behind. I would trust that Aaron is going to do a similar hype to dig game play for Bright Eyed. That glove helps considerably.
Yeah, because now you can actually use the normal Dark World portals. You don't have to rely on walking up to Aga to get the Dark World every time, which is kind of annoying. Oh yeah, and MDS never activated their flute. They got it.
What? Whoops.
I think they pulled it out of Eastern, but after that point, I was like, yeah, well, let's just go to Pod, I guess. I mean,
I guess
you don't have a glove, so you couldn't exactly utilize it for Pod anyway. Didn't exactly hurt.
And it looks like they're gonna turn in that suspicious mushroom and see if it's gonna have a prize. Although I think it's probably gonna have like 10 arrows on it.
Oh yeah, probably nothing, but considering how early the mushroom is, it's a little suspicious.
Yep.
And that suspicion was absolutely correct. With the flippers.
See, if there's one thing that I like take solace in terms of my like execution being mediocre, my ability to break big brain seeds is kind of wild sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
don't blame you. With a mushroom that early, I would be highly suspicious of it. Maybe tempted to save scum it in case it was nothing.
Yeah.
Just fake powder it.
Yeah. All I can say is, what can I say? I was mentored by Gamachu last year for a couple of the weeks, so I've been taught some pretty hilarious things.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. My first 2 weeks of this mentor tourney, my first 2 was Gamma.
Nice. They're amazing.
Yeah.
And they will teach you to never go to pendant Eastern Palace.
Yeah, I guess what happened my very first week of winter tourney matches was Fire Rod on Armos in Eastern Palace.
Oh, classic.
In
See,
Pendant Eastern.
as we see, Ped is confirmed dead. Just 10 arrows, and now Bright-Eyed, for their trouble, is getting robbed.
Yeah, the classic. So
And they're gonna go into Vu, while MDS will head up to Hera area. Yeah, they can get there with the hammer. No, they don't have a hook shot, so this is it.
no, they're going to the spike.
Ah, yeah.
We have
We
I
have more
forget.
than enough.
I know the
Theoretically,
cape is like cape and half magic puts it in the logic, or
I think the cape alone puts you. You just have to have an invincibility item to be technically in logic for that.
I want to say it's slightly different for cape and blue cane, just because blue cane lasts longer. That's what I've heard, but I'm not. I could be wrong.
Yeah, the mana drain is a lot faster on the cape. But there is an initial loss of mana when you trigger the blue cane. So, as we get hookshot in the first chest of Thieves Town, I bet MDS wanted that before they went up the mountain.
Honestly, it's not going to hurt very much, especially with routing in Spike Cave can kind of be a pain in the ass sometimes. Getting it done now, not that bad.
Gonna see. Well, I thought they were going to the desert area, but why were they running there when they can fly there? There we go. And that's another thing that, we all have to learn as we get better at the game. We have to think about not making mental errors. It's just as much as execution.
It is easy to say, okay, I need to go over here and start running there, and completely miss that you have a very much faster way of getting there.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think what's important is as you get better, you're able to start turning your brain off and trying to route more than to execute, but still have to remember to not surrender a free 15 seconds here, there, and everywhere as we hit bottle percent in desert.
That's one item already. So what are we getting here at the torch? Small, big, big.
All right, we would have been boots locked, but boots were very early.
So now with the guaranteed small key here, statistically likely the item to be on the right side, but I can also see an argument for just diving the boss and getting a little bit of a gamble.
I would probably go to the right side, as that is not what MDS is going to do. They're just going to... Oh no, they double back. Okay.
I think that was an intervention for ideas.
It could be, that would be Vortex maybe saying, hey, maybe we should check out the right side before going to the boss and clearing out the area. We get the map. And what's after the cannonball room? It's the other item, see?
Yeah, no, obviously it is way more likely to be over there. It's two versus one items, but
exactly.
It'd be a slightly fun gamble, because if you're right, going straight to the boss, I mean, hey, it's like a
it feels great.
That's a free minute of time right there.
Oh yeah, it feels great when you can big brain moments like that. Bombos at the Maiden Cell inside of Thieves Town for Bright-Eyed. They are definitely collecting a lot of delectable things here in Thieves Town.
Yeah, delectable things. I feel like MDS is probably going to Thieves in the near future. Full clear it. You gotta do it.
Yeah. Fortunately for Bright-Eyed, this blind fight will be very free, as they do have a cape. They should be able to sneak in some damage here and there, and then towards the end, they can go cape mode and get the kill that way. No shame in that. You learn the first phase and a half or two of blind, and then all bets can be off, you won't lose too much time versus, like, perfectly nailing the blind script, but they do. Look at that. Well done. 50 bucks for their trouble, and now we're gonna see MDS go take on, with the silver arrows, the Landmos. 3 shots will do it. Let's see if they're gonna get the setup. Too early on the first shot.
Yeah, I find it's a bit easier to do the bonk setup. You just bonk straight off the north wall. Get you lined up a little better on the heads. Assuming they don't have an extremely strange pattern. Which is Landmo, which could just totally happen. And Fire Rod.
We like that. Wow. This routing for Bright-Eyed with Aaron has really paid off.
Alright, now off to our next crystal dungeon.
This is what I said earlier, when you take an unfortunate death and you lose time, you should just forget about, unless it's very efficient to clear the overworld check, just booking it straight to the next dungeon and hope that you get what you need along the way and not doing anything crazy. And it's being rewarded so far, as they're gonna be able to take out Moth immediately and move on.
Almost get knocked in that hole. If there's no key in there, that'd be an unfortunate dive to take.
Oh yeah. Fortunately, they do have the blue mail, so those annoying little what are they? The Ropas? I don't remember the official Zelda name for these enemies.
Yeah, I do not know.
The tentacle boys. They do 2 hearts of damage on green mail, but only 1 on blue. So while they got bullied a bit, as they collect 1 item right in the middle.
Hopefully you get the second one in the back and you just don't even have to think about the front.
Yeah, that's the hope. We're going to see MDS go collect a whole bunch of toys in Vu and Thieves Town.
Straight to the back. Hope Moth's got the item.
Yeah,
if you're Ron, it's not a huge time loss. If you're Ron, it's a couple seconds just walking back in. Whatever.
Mostly going with the refill route of the room, picking up some mana and hearts for the Moth fight.
Yeah, honestly, Moth. You do have a lot of equipment. Moth can sometimes be incredibly obnoxious to deal with, regardless of good equipment.
They're struggling to kill the Gibdo for the key that they need, as they're getting bullied by everything in the room. They get through. Just mind the hand that might have come to get them, because you can get grabbed while you're falling. I've seen it.
Oh, yeah, no, I've had that happen to me.
We all have it happen once. As they're setting up for a Hammer Moth, gonna have to mind all those spikes. They don't have a ton of health.
They do still have the red potion. At least, no, they've got 2 red potions. They did Hype Cave, and they didn't spend one in the overworld yet, I don't believe.
Think about using one as their, yes,
Yep.
there you go.
The backups exist for a reason.
Because you can take a lot of damage very quickly in this boss room. As they get the Hammer Moth down, they do not get the other item. It's time to search for the other one. So where to next if you're bright-eyed?
Well, you need to honestly check Bumper Ledge first after you do Skull Woods, because you're right there. This Probably the closest you're gonna be to Bumper Ledge, unless you
Yeah,
like
and
ignore Dark World at some point.
plus you already have the cape, so
Mm-hmm.
it's a little suspicious.
Giving you the Master Sword to get into Aga Climb, but then also the cape for whatever reason during escape. Because why not?
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
that was just in case you skipped the tutorial chest and don't get the Master Sword. You know, you have the cape
build it
that
back up.
so you can do it anyway because the game is like, all right, I'm no, really, you are going to do Aga.
You are not escaping Aga.
But thou must.
So
Uh,
yeah, I'd say check Bumper Ledge because you're here. After checking Bumper Ledge, Desert seems nice because you can full clear it. It is a crystal. You know, always go to your crystal dungeons because I mean, why not?
oh, that's right. They didn't get the other item, so they wanna. I think there's like 20 rupees in here. That we know that's not a great item, but you know, an
Mhm.
item.
Oh, there's the other key. Yes, surprisingly enough, they didn't pull any small keys out of. Well, I guess they can't. Yeah, they didn't pull any out of the bridge or the middle. So there's just a bunch of small keys just sitting here in the front of Skullwoods. That was a nice little clip that I've actually never
Yeah.
seen. And Mitts.
Oh, and what a second item it is.
Well, now Mitts. They haven't even gone to mountain yet. They can.
Yeah.
They
Oh
can
wow.
do a.
This.
They could do a juicy mountain clear.
Yeah. So you check bumper ledge, then. Yep. Then just book it up the mountain and really clean up house. You can. 'Cause what they're fiending for the mirror and cane. They'll be able to check the Mire area to see what medallion they need because they do have bombos. And if that's the magic medallion they need, then that's great. And I hope they don't need the TR medallion.
Yeah, you can easily make an argument for fluting over and checking Meyer real fast. So you got to do it. And this is turn in the mushroom at the least. Oh no, never mind. King's
King's Tomb. Because they have gotten their mitts, this opened up for them and gives them a fresh check.
So
And it is the
Maria.
cane.
So
Wow.
TR may very likely be in play right now. we
Well,
got
that's
ev-
scary.
we got
Well,
everything
that's
potentially.
well, that's scary. A bad pendant TR, but also, I mean, if they get the if they have the right medallion, they can beat Meyer immediately now.
They
And it's
don't.
not.
So let's see. All we need is Mirror and Quake now, right?
Or Tempered Sword in the Meyer Shed. That's a very nice damage upgrade. Honestly, I mean, I know I should be better at my Master Sword Ganons at this point in my Rando career, but I still loathe doing them, so every seed I'm just hoping to get the bacon.
Easily. You know, it's Master Sword Ganon is not fun at all. It is doable. You find a rhythm, just almost like a background like noise.
Yeah.
You just do the thing, and it slowly, eventually works.
Yeah, I got a little practice in. I mean, it's just more like doing it without any of the invincibility items or, conserving your mana and things like that. Um, Trying to get the low percentage down, as we're going to see half magic and a red meringue picked up in the bottom of Paradox. MDS is now going to get their gold glove and figure out what to do.
Well, first off, just go kill Moth. Gives you a little time and Butter Sword and Paradox.
Wow.
We've got
Uh,
Silvers and Quake. Okay, we can
oh,
now just
yep.
go do Mire.
There's the Meyer access. So we are just down to the mirror.
Yep. They still have
I
not picked up the flippers, I don't believe. I think they may have been saving that mushroom to fake powder, honestly.
yes. So
But now that
it's
they have
gonna
got Samaria, I believe they're probably gonna turn it in as soon as they do fake powder, which is if they decide to do Smith chain, I think.
yeah, I think in their position because they probably still feel behind despite being hyped about their item chain recently. I would think that they would probably skip the Smith chain forever if they can.
Hmm.
And given now that they have Samaria, they don't have to worry about. Let's see. Just the middle finger at the top tablet there.
Yeah, well,
Or
wait.
child-friendly version is the Arrow of Destiny.
Yeah, there we go. And now we just get to do some more dungeons. Just more clearing. Big key. You get to sit and pray. You don't have to do my not my Hera basement. Usually you have to sometimes.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they can do a Harapot as they get the other cane. And now they can do a Harapot here. And now shoutouts to Philistia for discovering this method a year ago in the Mentor 2021 tournament. That is a much easier skill floor to be able to do that Harapot versus some of the other spin speed or other setups for the Harapot.
Yeah. The Philly pot method. Basement's probably coming. The Philly pot
Uh-oh.
method is a lot easier to get into, mostly because it sets your Y position for you. You don't have to worry about it. You just got to worry about your left and right movement.
Yeah, that was like the difference for me between being able to Harapot and not. I really struggled with learning spin speed Harapot before that.
Hmm.
Oh boy.
Oh, that was
Troll.
a really nice hook shot to avoid it.
Yeah, I was about to say old Trolldorm nearly knocked him clear off the platform there. And they do get the second item, and it's the mirror. So
They
we're
just need
in
to turn
no
in mushroom.
mode.
If they turn in
We're in no
mushroom,
mode. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
this is a jetty seat. Just go do your dungeons.
Yeah. I would have to think.
I was about to sit there and think, oh man, what gross location could mirror be in with the
Yeah.
access to every pendant dungeon in the game?
Yeah. So this is going to be very interesting because MDS is right behind and they are going to get the mirror, and because they have the flips, that will put them into actual go mode.
I think
So
they
it
haven't done King's Tomb yet. I don't believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they don't have the Cane of Samaria yet. So it'll be now we're in a competition of who's going to remember to do what first. Will Bright-Eyed remember to turn in their mushroom? Or will MDS remember to go to King's Tomb first? These are both after save and quits. I don't blame either runner for going into the Dark World and cleaning up Dark Death Mountain.
As far as you know, it's up here. It's a bunch of quick checks. It's all on logic. I don't think they'll dive immediately into TR, but that would be very unfortunate if they did.
I mean, yeah, it would that would be tragic. I don't think
That would
that
be a gamble. If you feel behind, that honestly doesn't seem like the worst gamble in the world to take.
right. I mean, that's what some would call playing to your outs if you're behind. So it's like if I know if I, it's like saying I know if I play the correct, like just following the logic and doing check density because I'm already behind, I'm dead if I just keep doing this. So I have to start doing clown.
Mm-hmm.
And of course we can go into TR. So uh-oh. Start sweating. Um and keep in mind it's not just bright-eyed that could be potentially going into TR. MDS could not go in, just kidding, because they can't get in without the cane.
Nope.
So this is a potential trap for Bright-eyed to step in. So let's see what they do.
So I don't think that they probably are gonna hold off. Yeah, they're gonna do spike because they still have two more clearable crystals before they consider that possibility. They can just go do Mire and go do Desert. They're gonna full clear them at this point, unless they decide to opt in of the hey, let's just turn in Mushroom real quick. Check, which it could happen honestly, but
Yeah, I mean, I would say typically what I do when I have a suspicious mushroom like that, at my next save and quit, I say, all right, I'm just gonna quickly flute and do this.
mm-hmm.
So if you're rooting for Bright-eyed, you're hoping he thinks exactly the same. Okay, they forgot that they don't have everything they need to just be able to do that, so they're mirroring, and let's see where they flute to.
Yeah, Mire area. You have Mirror. You can just do Mire and straight into Desert. Real quick 1-2.
Yeah, that won't necessarily hurt them, but um, now we have to see if MDS will immediately go to King's Tomb on their next save and quit. That will
Yeah,
be telling.
it is an easy one. It is an easy one-off check to get to. You can get to it very quickly. So
They're
it,
not doing things that will necessarily hurt them. It's just more like,
mm-hmm.
as opposed to go moding these dungeons and, immediately hoofing it to the boss, they
Yeah,
are going to spend a little bit of time looking for an item.
especially for a dungeon like Mire, you can significantly speed up your skip in the items potentially.
Yeah, if you get like an early big key mire, you can just say goodbye, and hoof it straight to the boss. Um, but hey, we're just over an hour in, and if you've really liked what you're seeing, you should give these followers and their mentors, and give these runners and mentors a follow, rather. My mind is just full of spoonerisms, so pardon me on that. So give our runners and mentors a follow. They're all wonderful people. I know I've recently raced against AryaStark, um, MDS there. Bright-eyed I haven't raced yet, but I know Aaron and Vortex very well. Stand-up people in our community. Aaron is also a co-admin with me on the Casual Boots tournament. Um, yeah, just wonderful runners, all of them. Aaron was the winner of the Mentor 2021 tournament too. They got a really nice they got a really nice tournament win last year for Gold Sword bracket.
Nice.
And you're probably wondering, well, what is the Code Podcast? Well, it's right here in the chat as well. You can go to their website and listen and learn through the backlog about the whole game. They'll walk you through the whole game from start to finish. Part of the way through, we had one person join onto the podcast, some guy named Dante. I think we've heard of him in this community. And you'll learn from some very, it's very comprehensive. That's one of the ways that I learned how to play the randomizer after watching a few streams. As we see Bright Eye doing the bonk setup that you had referenced, they got 2 out of 3.
Yeah, that one on the left jumped up extremely high immediately and kind of dodged the arrow there. It's not foolproof, but all right, so let's see. MDS here. Seeing Meyer is available. He's gonna check Meyer shed. Gonna check checkerboard.
Yeah,
Will they
that
go into Meyer, thinking Kane might be in there?
yeah, that would be a pitfall for them to fall in as well. Um, it's
Because I
all going to
mean, with
come down.
all of your options on the table, it honestly is not the worst gamble. Like, it is a gamble I could see that being reasonable.
Oh yeah, especially because you can, if you get the two items very quickly, you can just bail out of Mire very.
Hmm.
It just depends. You could be stuck there a while. And we're going to see MDS Flute. They are going to go to 4. And I guess they're going to do Swamp. Yes.
Yeah. Swamp it's very dense, and I wonder if they will do left side. If they skip left side, honestly, hitting like the other checks, except for left side, is honestly not like a whole lot faster than pure go mode. In all honesty.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I would probably say if I was mentoring this runner, I would say to do left side because we are one item from go. And
Hmm.
while we as commentators know that where the item they need is, I mean, if you're in the chair, you don't want to have the one item. It's just like an ice rod hunt at this point. It could be
Yeah.
anywhere. And that would ruin your day if you skipped left side and that was what you needed to do. Um,
Hmm. On the plus side, Samario Go mode kind of cuts off a lot more area than Flipper's Go mode does.
oh yeah. They could not be tempted by Turtle Rock, for starters.
Yeah, they won't be tempted by Turtle Rock, whereas, well, I mean, Bright Eyed might be tempted by Turtle Rock. They won't. They won't. They'll be able to just straight up Go mode Swamp, but I mean, at least Swamp is a crystal if you're full clearing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dense dungeon too, so you kind of want to
Hmm.
see what you
Six
can
hole
find there.
checks. 6 hole checks, and it's your second red crystal.
Yeah, I
You can
mean,
you
I
can do Pyramid Fairy right afterwards.
pretty convenient. But we're just gonna have to see what these runners end up doing. We see one item so far there from those bomb pickups at the top of the left side there.
And opting against doing a cutscene chest.
Yeah, I mean, it's a choice, and I guess yeah. Now you just go to that spike chest and see what you get there. Otherwise, you're just forced to. Oh, hey.
I guess maybe hoping maybe the second item or big key was just sitting there in that chest before fully committing to this, I suppose. If it was the
Yeah,
second item, you could dip. If it was the big key, then you can go do a whole bunch of other stuff.
yeah. Actually, gonna be right back. Oh,
Okay.
just gotta grab something real quick.
Now we're gonna get the swamp clear. Let's see if they commit to left side. I wouldn't be surprised. You are looking for Samaria, and it would be awful to leave Samaria in left side swamp if it was there. But you never know. This is just doing swamp the normal way. You could be, bomb diver down is a little trickier than Samaria diver down, I'd say. It could be that either they aren't comfortable with diver down in general, it could just be mom diver down. I can understand that.
Choosing to do the diver down, if you're not too comfortable with it in a race situation, you know, especially at one item from go at a 111 in.
When you're feeling that this is a jet and you're worried you might have missed it.
Or why put the pressure on it when you know every second's gonna count even more?
Yeah. Yes, I mean, honestly, I think the bomb diver down is trickier to learn. The smarter one is honestly not too bad.
Yeah, you'll be surprised. I actually do not know it because I just haven't practiced it. I get the concept and I've done it a few times. It's just putting in the gym work to it's that diagonal input stuff is where I struggle with it.
You mean for like the jumping in the water thing?
Yeah, that's where it's just getting the coordination right. It was like that with me when learning Icebreaker and just getting the pause buffer right because I do the pause buffer method, and it's just, you know, it's just your cat-like reflexes and just getting that in the motor skills.
Yeah. It looks like there is 2 items on the left side of swamp, so they
Oh boy.
might jump back in for it.
I would say that they should do that. Oh, and there's Bright-Eyed gonna be turning in their mushroom. Oh boy.
Yep.
So they are gonna be the first to go mode.
Oh, they're ditching left side swamp. Yeah, they're doing Pyramid Fairy instead. That's where they're
Okay.
gambling it's at.
Yeah, I mean, that is a gamble because, as we're gonna see, Bright-Eyed stock up on some potions. They're in go mode at 112.52 or so, and yep, it's just time to do a go mode swamp, and we're off and running. I'm gonna be very curious to see how to talk to Bright-Eyed and MrAaronSnerd after the seed, after taking that death the uh in the Aga climb. You know, how that changed their routing, what they were thinking, what was their mental state at.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if I was in that same position, I'd probably be absolutely beyond tilted if I died during an Aga climb.
Yeah, because they got 1.0'd, which is extra infuriating.
What exactly is 1.0'd?
Oh, so that's the glitch in this Japanese 1.0 version of the game that we are running the randomizer on, which allows us some of our cool tricks, like fake flippering and things like that, which were patched out of later versions of the game.
Oh, this is MDS gonna do King's Tomb here. He's gonna check it,
Oh wow.
hit it with North Dark World.
All right. We're going to be back into a race then.
Go mode Mire versus go mode Swamp.
Although Bright-Eye does get the perk of being already in the dungeon.
Yeah. Granted, getting to Mire from here is pretty fast.
Yeah, very true.
So
So they're getting the news, and they're only about 2 minutes behind on the go mode, and they'll be able to fast forward through this dungeon.
Yep. Which basically they have to do a cutscene chest. That's where the big key is.
Ah.
Probably the
What I'm
worst location it could be in if you're looking to go mode this dungeon, honestly.
Yeah. um Well, what I was going
So
to say about the 1.0 version of the game is that while you can, in later versions of the game, I believe it's if you get bumped off into a pit, you don't take both the damage from the bonk and the fall damage. You only get one.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
So you don't, in that case, in a later version of the game, you would not die.
Yep. Nah, I didn't know it was called being 1.0, but I've absolutely been 1.0 before.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it's the same thing that allows you in Skullwoods as you're falling into the pit to go fight
yeah, and get
Mothula.
grabbed by the
You can
hand.
you get snagged because it counts as, well, it does 0 hearts of damage. It counts as damage.
Mm-hmm.
But this is gonna be down to the wire. It just depends. I mean, Bright Eyed will have a bit of an advantage as they're going to be the first up to GT, but it's going to come down to routing. Um,
Yeah, this is going to
Chaz,
be about probably 3-4 minute lead, assuming they end up doing cutscene chest last.
um, as down goes crystal number 7 for Bright Eyed. And folks, we don't got a bot to give you free internet e-points, but you can still get your numbers in nonetheless for the good old GT guessing game. Put a number between 1 and 22 for the chest location in GT where you think the big key is going to be at, and you'll be the fine winner of the admiration of your fellow chat participants.
There we go. Something is about the friends we made along the way. Whatever. Something like that.
Yes. And those dead rocks are annoying. He died. Now, what's
When are they
the
not literally the worst enemy in the game?
Now, I don't think either runner has opened the TR portal, have they?
No. They both took the portal upwards from
Well,
up through
Bright-Eye's
City
gonna
Bunny.
well, Bright-Eye's gonna open it anyway. I would have said, well, at this point, if you haven't opened it, skip smacking hammers and
And this is going to be a last locate on that big key in Meyer. Oh,
a little unfortunate.
yeah, you can't really make cutscene chess much faster. If this was a key in the front of Meyer, this would be a lot closer. Oh,
There. So you can get your guesses in. Oh, I better get my 13 in
yeah.
because Bright-Eyed is about to get in there. So our tracker's horrible. He's doing 22 with that torch. Or, I mean, I'm sorry, with
Tile room.
the tile room there, rather.
Hey, maybe someone will do the feels behind instant tile room play.
I mean, if MDS does that, that would be a shocking big brain play, and that would make this a race immediately. Because they are definitely. I mean, it's just unfortunate with the routing that they ended up doing in Mire, which there's no real wrong way to route Mire. Um,
Mm-hmm. You hoped you don't have to do torch room or the cutscene chest, but I mean, it's probably gonna happen in some
yeah.
capacity.
So 3 inside of GT is a small key. I'm gonna collect lots of keys here so far. Oops, you missed. Now you're gonna have to do it. There you go. I wonder if the nerves are starting to get to come into play at 120 and in GT. Your opponent's not done. This is pretty fast for standard.
Oh yeah, and especially when you consider, and this is the it's not like the level of play you would see in like some like the really high level runners that you'd normally watch. So this is
Base.
a really fast seed
Oh
for
yeah, for
for
really
Member
anyone.
Attorney. Yeah.
It appears that they are gonna go full left. based on killing all the Stalfos Knights as opposed to mirroring out and doing the Bwane route to go to Hope Room and then right side.
Oh, they did do Hope first, and
Oh, okay.
they even got a small key over there, but they just went left anyway.
Yeah, I'm just a big fan of going straight to Stalfos, doing that Bwane route. Stalfos, Hope, right, and then cry if my 13 checks didn't give me the big key.
I am 100% the same. I'm a firm believer in the Blaine route.
I mean, there's no real correct way to route GT. It just feels like
Nope. It's honestly pretty RNG.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how you decide to route it, the game can just throw the big key anywhere it wants, and it doesn't matter what you think.
Yeah. I do feel like, though, if you do Hope Room and... I mean, yeah, I guess you could go right immediately if you get a small key there, but I kind of feel like if you do Hope Room and then go left, you should probably just keep going left.
Yeah, definitely. No, if you're doing Hope first, I'd say you either want to take the key to the right immediately if you get one, or just go full left. Don't come back.
Either way, there's going to be a set of chests that are going to make you sob. If you Bwane route, it's probably Rando Room.
Yep.
And if it's the right, and then if you go Hope and right, then, well, the further you go left, the more you sob.
I'm curious, when you Blaine route, I take it you after you don't get anything in those 4 chests, you on the right side, you just mirror and head back, or do you
Oh, I
push your
collect the
luck all
key.
the way to R? Yeah, and you collect the key, obviously.
You
I was
collect the
curious
key, and
if you push your luck towards Armos Knights.
honestly, I think I have set foot on the full right play maybe like 3 times ever. I don't even probably know the room strats for those rooms at this point. Those just rooms don't exist.
Yep, and
Oh
left side is
boy.
nothing.
If
So
MDS goes
just go
right immediately with the key, they will be seconds apart. They'll be coming down to execution. Also, brighteyed really has to watch their health.
Now we have a race. unless it's tile room, then we have a something or another. I'm not sure what to call it.
Garbage. That's
There
what
we
it
go.
is.
There we go. That's a good way.
You know, Seed has been so jet and so nice. You just have to throw one spanner in the works, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And they are going right, so oh boy, they're only going to be a few screens behind. Unless it is, oh my gosh.
It is tile room.
LucienGreeth, you terrible, terrible, no good, awful, evil person. Cursing our runners with tile room. Unbelievable. There we go, bright-eyed. Now you remember to cape and just grab the wall. I think Aaron might have said something.
I will.
Because this way you do not burn any mana, you won't get grabbed by the nasty hand, and those tiles won't hurt you.
Mm-hmm. I will be right back in just a moment.
No problem. So while we wait for Bright-eyed to collect the big key, you know, you can give them and their mentor Aaron a follow. Do the same for MDS and Vortex as well. Definitely putting on a show. I hope you've really enjoyed this. And if you want to learn how to play this game yourself, I mean, I know this tournament's already in progress, but you can still go to the Discord, linked in the chat there, and check out the learning channel. And honestly, almost at any point, if you ask a question about how to play, someone's going to be willing to help you out. It's a really welcoming community. I couldn't endorse it more. Yeah, who did roll this seed? Aga plus the tile room. Pretty rough. We are seeing MDS, unfortunately, go left. I don't blame them. How can you know that it's going to be the tile room? It's everyone's worst nightmare. No one is going to do that first unless they are desperate or memeing. So that is going to give them a few minutes of time on MDS at this point. I mean, if they really want to, they could stop in the recovery room. And I'm agreeing with our tracker. Yeah, gambling tile room would be a play. And I mean, we're only at an hour and 26 in. I don't think we're that desperate yet and feeling that behind, no matter if you're actually ahead or not. Just waiting on Bright Eye to get through these rooms here. As they're starting a gauntlet, they're about to head over to Landmos. Neither runner got powder, so no anti-fairy healing in this tower. They get the first one. They get 2 out of the 3 on the first cycle, and now they're just going to get their final kill there. Sorcererfinch, you say no comment, so that means you did it. Disappointment. It's one of Sorcererfinch's specials. You know, either be it on the SG weekly, the open weeklies, and Bright Eyed is down to 1 heart. Do they have another potion? They do, okay.
They won't have a health refill for the Ganon fight, but hopefully with half magic and a green potion and butter sword, you know, should be able to get through mine.
I don't think they're gonna take a lot of damage. It's just they are taking some incidental damage as they climb, though, and they will not be able to heal. So, if anything, maybe they don't directly drop into the GT fight. They have time to get down and bonk the fairy and get a heart fill. And if you want to be really greedy, you can dash to the other screen and get a second fairy, or because they have a bug net, you know, you can also get a fairy in a bottle if you need. Although with Blue Mail, realistically, with the coaching that our runners have had, probably dying to Ganon shouldn't be a thing that happens, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I highly doubt it. You have Blue Mail, you have half magic, and a green potion, and you can just spam your cape if you really want to for most of it.
Having the green is honestly just as helpful here for phase 1 and 2. Because that's the real challenge, is getting through phase 1 and 2 without taking a ton of damage. And with that cape, you know, you can freely spam it. With the gold sword too, you know, you could one cycle both phases.
Yep.
Nicely done getting through the mini Helmasaur room. On the way to Aga 2. Now it's time to play some geometry. Oh, unfortunate that they did not get any hits there.
Alright, we got 1 out of 6. And
That's
3.
3 there. Alright, now we're talking. Taking a spooky amount of damage, so maybe they might take me up on my offer to go get that fairy after this fight's over.
Yeah, you might want to consider it. You're getting kind of low. You're getting to the point you might only take 2 hits from
As they-
Ganon.
As they keep getting bled by these shots.
There we go.
Alright, we're through. Honestly, dying to Ganon isn't the biggest deal in the world. I mean, aside from the lost time, you can just hop right back in. You'll have a decent amount of health. More than that they have right now, anyway. And you can go for a round 2. Let's see what they do. I don't know if they're going to heal up or if they're going to hop right in.
I honestly think it's probably just gonna be just abuse your cape, hug the wall after you get your 6 hits in.
Yeah.
You can do quite a bit of damage with very little magic use. You've got the green potion back up. You got silvers.
Don't get the 1 and 1, so they're going to hit there. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they're going to hug the wall. And now we wait. Oh, why did he get off the wall?
I guess got off a little early, trying to make sure Ganon doesn't cast the fire bat, I suppose.
All right, already on phase 2. I mean, phase 3, rather. And looks like they're going to set up the torch glitch with the silvers. Don't blame them. If you're not comfortable, you bait the fire bat and then get the glitch. And they'll get the kill pretty soon.
That was a little close on the fire bat.
Oh, yeah. Seems like for both on Aga 2 and on Ganon, they're getting uncomfortably close to the bosses. 3 and and that's it.
Yep.
Get your
the
GGs
fourth hit.
in. Get your GGs in for Bright-Eyed, as they are a bridge cross away from the big win. And they will go to be 4 and 2. And they have a shot at gold. And with a race time of 132.43, Bright-Eyed is in first. Get your GGs in chat.
Yeah, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Arya decides to just finish it off. You're right here at the end. You may as
And
well go for it.
it's practice. That happened to me yesterday in my terrible, terrible seed. I was finished off while I was on Troll Dorm 2, but I was like, I have Master Sword Ganon here. I should probably actually practice this for a change and not just forfeit out like I normally do. True facts. You don't get better at the things you don't do.
Yeah.
As we see MDS on their Aga 2 fight.
At this point, honestly, only a few minutes behind, maybe.
No, it's
two or 3.
All it really came down to was who checked their go mode first when they were both just sitting there on the overworld waiting for them. And it turned out Bright-Eyed checked it first, and they got themselves their flips off the suspicious mushroom, and that was what got them their win. It can be a bit of a challenge to remember to go to King's Tomb later in a seed. You have to, and you already have the flute, so the only way you can feasibly get there fast is either on a North Dark World loop check or on a save and quit. And after you have the flute and a mirror, when are you saving and quitting? Not often.
Yeah, pretty much. In this case, it kind of got bundled with North Dark World for MDS, and well, I think it's a little longer to get to than just fluting and turning in your mushroom, because why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's the kind of play that, you do very quickly and just see if you get something, and if not, well, you checked it and you turned it in. Not a big deal. And you can do some shopping too. If you have bottles, of course.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, MDS cleanly through phase 1 and 2. They're just gonna put a whooping on the old pig. I kind of call the Gold Sword Silver's Ganon kill the baby Ganon kill because it's not gonna get any easier for you.
Nope. It's a trivial phase 1, phase 2, and play whack-a-mole on phase 3.
They opt to not do the torch glitch
They're going for
because
the
they're
triple.
gonna. Oh baby, 1, 2, 3. They did it. Nice job. It's a good little bit of tech right there. That could be the difference between losing by 8 seconds or nearly forcing a tie, as we saw in the Casual Boots tournament between Skeel and Zelda Dasan, where it looked like Skeel had a commanding 10-second win, but then all of a sudden, at the very last second, Zelga dropped a triple and put it within 2 seconds. It was a heart-stopping finish.
That little bit of time saved there. It's
Everything,
really nice.
everything counts, you know, and especially at that level, every second matters.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if we can get our runners in. I gotta go to the race room itself and see if they are our fine runners and mentors are interested in a post-race interview now that both are done.
Yeah, let me try to find it. There's the race time room.
And yes, GG's to MDS, finishing strong with their 136.27. They played. They should hold their heads high. They played very well. You know. See if we can get our folks in for a nice chat.
Okay. Here's Bright-eyed.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello. And GG to Bright-eyed, taking the W. How are you
I'm
feeling
here,
with
but
that jet?
cannot hear anyone.
Oh, are you deafened?
No, in Discord says it's fine.
I don't think I'm muted or deafened. Nope. All right. Sorry, guys. I can't hear anything.
We hear you loud and clear, but alas, the important part is you being able to hear. Let's see here. I don't know. Just bear with us, folks, as we're going to try to sort this technical issue out. I think they play on emulator, so their sound settings should be just tied to Windows. Okay, maybe they're dropping out and they're gonna. We can drag them back in and see if we can.
Yeah. Hello. Can you hear us now?
I don't know why I can't hear anyone. This is so bizarre. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to let you down. GG's.
It's not a problem. GG's. It's just so folks can actually hear.
Oh, okay.
We're,
Well,
we're gonna be.
MDS down there.
Yeah, we're gonna be joined by Vortex and MDS. In a second. So I'll bring them in.
Mm-hmm.
So we're joined by MDS and Vortex of Doom while Bright-eyed sorts out their audio. I
Well,
just want to say GG's.
Well, you could hear them in there for
Yeah.
the
What
record.
could they hear you?
They could not hear us.
That's what
Yeah.
they're sorting out, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to extend a nice GG. It played that seed very well. Gave you a lot of goodies at the start.
Yeah, pretty loaded up. I'm very happy that I practiced my bomb and Berna escape today. Came in handy.
Yeah, you practice all these fun different escape methods, and oh look, here's Master Sword. All right, go have fun.
I should have practiced that harder, I guess.
Yeah, practice the sword beam against ball and chain strat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to. Oh, go on.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask. Where do we even begin with this? I mean, it was kind of Jet at first, and then what the seed kind of came down to was MDS needed to find the cane at of course, at King's Tomb, while Bright-Eyed just had to turn in their mushroom for flips for your two respective go modes, and it became a contest for for your go modes, and they remembered to flute over to the witch's hut about 2 minutes before y'all went up to King's Tomb.
Okay.
Yeah, it was honestly pretty close, and we were thinking that maybe because they went left in GT and you guys went right, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be you just made up all that time back from GT routing. No, it's Tower. Nope.
Interesting. I'm surprised at Flipper's go mode. I could have imagined mirror go mode. But I don't know, with the flute it just seemed so natural to turn in.
Yeah, well, especially them, they never touched mountain until they had mitts, so they got.
Yeah, I guess.
So
we only did Spec Rock and Spike, which we would have done that exactly the same way if we waited till mitts. So that's not really a time loss because we didn't touch it till mitts there effectively. Obviously, opening anything in Swamp is definitely a time loss with Flipper's go mode. So that and Pyramid Fairy explain a lot. So,
I mean, you did dodge left side Swamp, which would have had a lot more. I mean, realistically, I don't think the added checks in Swamp are a ton of time if you aren't touching left side.
well, I mean, the bottom chest is like 15 to 20. So is No Diver Down, probably roughly about that. And then Pyramid Fairy, which we went the long way to. So like there was a little time. The Arya was having slow down like a little too much on the computer, so I dropped out to just
Just seeing the Twitch stream and
just Twitch stream, which is what happened with like fluting to desert or the fast way to Pyramid Fairy. So those
yeah, like the 10-second delay or whatever.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
But honestly, I thought we played well. I thought Arya played really well. We routed. I don't regret basically anything about the route. So
Yeah, I know. Honestly, from your position, Kane could have easily been in there. I mean, there's a decent amount of places Kane could have been in at that point.
Hello,
And
everyone.
honestly, I was more worried for Bright-Eyed because since they had Flipper's go mode, like they had TR open, they had well, not ice, but I was basically like, oh well, they just did mountain. They're looking for Flippers. TR is open right there. That is a gamble, especially
yeah,
earlier.
we're joined by Bright-Eyed, so I guess we can ask them, was there a temptation, between you and Aaron about taking a temptation to go into Turtle Rock because you got the medallion and you had the full kit to fully clear the dungeon?
Not even a second. You know, we had Mire fully open. So we were just, if it was in Turtle Rock, we were gonna, you know, last location it there.
Yeah. I was also thinking that I'm assuming you held on to the mushroom for a while as you did, thinking to fake powder it maybe.
No, it was just one of those things where, even though it's an easy check, you just start having clearable crystals, so you just go do those, and then as soon as it was like, all right, where are the flippers? I was like, well, that mushroom's been burning a hole in my pocket for 45 minutes now. I should probably trade it in.
When
Yeah, we
did
were gonna. Oh, go on.
so like how did you guys like what was the early game difference like? I guess I'm sort of just curious.
I,
So Bright-Eyed went straight into Eastern out the gate.
Okay.
After CAC, you guys went South Shore. Um,
Mhm.
so you had boots going into everything. You had boots earlier, but you know they had flute earlier. They got that
Yep.
flute activated and were able to use it to get around. After that, it was honestly mostly the same. Just climb Aga, do your thing, grab your hammer, go to pod. Realize pod is nothing because of course it does.
Mhm.
Guess I
Yeah.
wanted to also ask for Bright Eyed. Did your accidental death in the Aga Tower climb change any routing at all because you lost some time there?
Didn't change the routing. Definitely put me a little bit more on tilt. But you know, I recovered pretty well.
Well, that's a given.
Yeah, dying Aga Tower is not fun, especially getting 1.0'd in there.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Yeah, I was just trying to think other kind of key moments. You
Yeah,
both had to have.
honestly, yeah, the routing was pretty similar between both of you. It really came down to the fact that Bright-Eyed turned in the mushroom and also, you know, at one point save quit into Sank just to grab King's Tomb as soon as they got mitts. After doing the whole mountain or mountain and everything.
So
Yeah,
wait,
felt
before
fishy.
doing the mount?
No, after.
Oh,
Like,
after. Okay.
Yeah, so
Oh,
they did mountain and you know.
that makes sense. Yeah, we after mountain, I think we like obviously we had swamp open, so a save and quit just for King's Tomb didn't seem like a terribly viable option. We did do Mire area, so that was also a double dip, I guess, which like that felt
Same.
kind of fine. Like we did Mire shed checkerboard before getting Kane, but
Yeah, no, I mean that I think that dip is completely justifiable. You're looking for medallion knowledge, then why not?
Right, I didn't have Quake because it was on the mountain, so I had to bail out of there too.
Yeah, but routing decisions overall were honestly pretty similar. It was just mostly the fact that, you know, the being able to go mode swamp versus, you know, trying to go mode Mire when the big key is in the worst possible location for go moding Mire.
That was rough.
did you do cutscene? Well, you know, you wouldn't have done cutscene first because you'd have both items anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
I actually did. I actually went straight to cutscene after I got both items. Obviously, after checking the bridge chest.
interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron was definitely like, I don't know if I would do it that way.
I mean, it's
like-
yeah, no, it's a totally reasonable play. It's a 50-50 at that point.
It's a 50-50. Yeah, that's how I took it.
But yeah.
Sweet.
Well, I just wanted to think, is there any other thoughts you wanted to have before we wrap on up over here?
I was just bummed about the tile room big key, man. And that ruined my sub night. What a bummer.
That is always gonna be a bummer. Honestly, there is the only situation tile room feels good is if you giga brained it and rush tile room as your first check. That is the
If
time
you're-
Tower Room feels incredible. Every other scenario feels bad.
If you feel the high planet, oh man.
I mean, we talked about, if you listen back in the VOD, you know, we described the different routes that you can do in GT, but it's just like, you know, at some point you're just sobbing as you're checking more and more checks as you get up to 16, 17, 18.
You start to think, oh no, I routed GT wrong. Oh no, I just lost several minutes of time. I mean, I guess you can at least take solace in Tower Room that the other person probably did the exact same thing, is last locating it as well. You really
That's kind of
didn't lose
my
anything
thought.
at that point.
Yeah, you know, going hope left, you're like, God damn, it's in compass. I lost like 3 minutes. And then you do compass and you're like, oh, all right, sweet. I didn't lose 3 minutes.
Or if you do the Blaine route, you know, it's like, oh, very cool. It's in Rando room. Cool, 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 cool. Now I'm gonna get smoked. But yeah, I guess if there's any other thoughts, I think just on behalf of everyone, you know, I just want to say thanks to you all for being here, for running and mentoring this race. You know, you all put on a really great show, and hey, to everyone in the chat, give them a follow. All four of these lovely people. They're stand-up folks in the community, and yeah, you'll really enjoy watching future races from them. And just on behalf of everyone here, yeah, thank you for being here.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for hosting. Appreciate it.
You know, it looks like we will have a raid target. As I'm being told, we'll be raiding ZSR2, which is currently
Awesome.
cross keys between Homewrecker and Amazing Ampharos.
Good old
Sweet.
cross keys, a mode that it's not my cup of tea. But you can give us on the crew a follow. You know, we had LucienGreeth on tracking, sorcererfinch on restream and rolling the terrible seed, and you have bread-kun and myself, Josh Bittner, on comms. You can follow us for more entertainment. And yeah, if you want to learn how to play, just go to the Discord. We put the links in the chat, and you can check out the podcast itself. And thanks for watching, everyone.